Alright, so we were fortunate enough to attend the official launch event of the Nothing Phone 1, the newest device from Carl Pei's Nothing brand. We had the chance to go hands-on with the device, and I just want to share with you guys my thoughts and first impressions of the Nothing Phone 1. Let's get started. So after many months of mystery and teasers all over social media, Nothing has finally taken out the wraps on what is officially its second device after the Nothing Ear 1, which is the Phone 1. The device was officially launched at an event in Nothing's offices here in London, and we got a chance to go up close and personal with the phone and play around with it. Of course, these are all first impressions based on my limited time with the device, so all opinions in this video will reflect what I was able to work with on that day. With that said, let's get to the video. Now, the first thing that most people will notice about the Nothing Phone 1 is the external design. It actually kind of resembles certain smartphones out there, especially with the flat size and the rounded corners, but it incorporates design elements that help it stand out from the rest of the competition. The phone comes with a fully transparent rear panel with Gorilla Glass 5, which shows off some of the phone's internals, camera hardware, as well as the Glyph notification system, which we'll talk about later. It's very lightweight thanks to the size of the phone, which used aluminum instead of steel, and compared to a lot of other smartphones that I've handled before, the Nothing Phone 1 is easier on my hands thanks to the lightweight design. The display in front of the device measures 6.55 inches with a 1080 by 2400 pixel resolution. It's got an OLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate, and it is protected by Gorilla Glass 5, similar to the rear panel. It also houses the front camera and a small hole punch on the top left corner. The display is nice and responsive, and the high refresh rate really made it feel fluid. There wasn't any lag or slowdown during my time handling the phone, which is always a good sign. Thanks to the OLED panel, it was also bright, and colors were vibrant with good contrast. I also like how it features symmetrical bezels all around the display, which is something that you don't see a lot of on mid-range Android phones. Now, turning the phone over will let you see the Glyph interface at the back, which plays a big part in how the phone differentiates itself from the rest of the smartphone competition. Simply put, the Glyph interface makes use of multiple LED lights, which respond to different notifications and software features. You can customize which ringtones and alerts you want to use on your phone, and the back of the phone lights up to match whatever ringtone or notification you have set up. Putting it face down will trigger the phone's silent mode, leaving only the lights to tell you when you're receiving a message, call, or such. Given that this is one major highlight of the device, I cannot imagine using a case to fully cover up the design of the phone. Some of the sample units that were available at the launch did have cases on them, albeit with see-through designs. In terms of software, the Phone 1 runs on Nothing OS, which is mostly a clean Android version, save for a handful of Nothing apps and special features. In his message during the keynote, Carl Pei mentioned how there are already a lot of good default Android apps, so there was no need to replace them with the brand's own set of apps, instead focusing on adding features with incremental value to users. With that said, the user interface of the Nothing Phone is really clean and streamlined. Of course, there are a few visual touches and Nothing exclusive features like minor design accents and software, but it manages to keep the OS simple and functional without all the need for a heavily customized skin or third-party bloatware. Personally, I do like it when companies keep additional apps to a minimum, since we get to enjoy Android for its core and essential features, as well as the visual interface of the product. I think that the software interface is one of the strengths of the Nothing Phone 1. Now, there has been a lot of talk about the internal specs and potential performance of the phone. Inside the Phone 1 is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G Plus chipset, which on paper might sound unimpressive to some people, given that it is a mid-range SoC in a flagship device. It actually reminds me about the time that Google stuck a Series 7 Snapdragon chip inside the Pixel 5 and the similar reactions from the tech community at the time. However, mid-range Snapdragon chips have been known to perform surprisingly well, especially when paired with enough memory like the 8 or 12 gigs of RAM inside this phone and the optimized software. I do think that the choice to keep a mostly clean version of Android on the phone will do wonders with the 778G Plus. There's also a 4500 mAh battery inside the phone, which should be enough to power the device through an entire day. Given the mid-range chipset, this is quite possible, although factors like screen brightness and the higher refresh rate should be taken into consideration. Now, the Nothing Phone 1 comes with a trio of cameras all over the device, which includes a 50 megapixel main camera and a secondary 50 megapixel ultra-wide sensor and a front camera that has a 16 megapixel sensor. So far, the photos that I was able to capture on the cameras look really good. Nothing says that they avoided putting in unnecessary camera hardware like the usual combo of 2 megapixel macro and depth sensors, which are found on a majority of Android phones. Instead, the company decided to equip the phone 1 with a pair of 50 megapixel sensors, which produced impressive shots. The phone was also able to record 4K videos and has other features like night mode, HD portrait, and more. Like I said at the beginning of this video though, these are only my first impressions based on my limited handling of the device, but from what I've seen though, the camera quality looked good and promising. At a starting price of £399 in the UK, the Nothing Phone 1 is clearly meant to take on other competing mid-range Android phones like the Google Pixel 6a, the Galaxy A53, and the A33. Of course, it will need to stand out from the rest of the competition, and given Carl Pei's experience in the smartphone industry, it will be exciting to see how the phone and the brand itself hold up in the long run. Despite the somewhat low-powered chipset, it's an impressive device based on what I've seen so far, and smartphone users looking to try out something new and different will definitely want to check this out. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more content on phones and other kinds of tech, then check out our other videos here on TeamViewY. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.